Hey guys, Grifton here, and today we're going to be talking about the Ring of Kirin tour. But before we get started, please take the time to like and subscribe as it really helps me out. Also, I stream over on twitch.tv/Griptonish if you want to catch me live. Okay guys, so here I am on the beta in Dalaran. Let me show you exactly where I am. I'm right here at the Magus Commerce Exchange, and I'm standing kind of in front of this guy, and he's going to be selling some rings. I'm going to explain to you why this ring is good and why it's gotten better. So if you don't know what these rings are, let me show you really quick. He sells 4 of them. There's the band, the signet, the loop, and the ring. The 2 we care about as feral druids is the band and the ring. Now the band one is made for your DPS. The ring of the Kirin Tor is for your tanks. If you're going to be a feral tank, I'd recommend grabbing this one. It's going to have more stamina for you. And if you are going to go be a DPS, I would grab this one. If you plan on being a hybrid class, I recommend taking the DPS one. I know people are going to ask me. I'm just going to get that out of the way. The other 2 are obviously going to be your caster one and your healer one. So if you, for whatever class you are, there is a ring for you. Okay, now the reason these are so interesting is because they come with a hearth back to Dalaran on a 30-minute cooldown, which is pretty short. This is really helpful, especially early days when you're constantly going back and forth from heroic to heroic and you're blowing through your hearth cooldown constantly. And for whatever reason, if you ever need to go back early, you need a second a hearthstone. Now I know shamans and mages, they have their own built-in one. If you're an inscriptionist, you can use the scroll of recalls, but most of us don't have that option, and this is a great filler for that. Now I want to point out that heroics are only 10 to 15 minutes long, so this is likely to happen pretty frequently, so I do recommend it. Now they do cost 8,500 gold. You can lower the price if you get your rep of Kirin Tor up higher. It will help, but it will take time, and you might want this sooner rather than later. And if you can't afford it, that's fine. You'll live without it. But honestly, if you can't afford it, I do recommend it because the rings themselves are actually pretty good anyway. Now, a lot of people might be saying, yeah, but if you really get stuck at an instance, you can ghetto hearth. Well, that's actually the main thing that's changed that I wanted to talk about. So, normally you could ghetto hearth. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially entering an instance, creating a group, and then instantly leaving the group to kind of parrot the idea of dropping group so that the game will trigger to send you back to your hearth. I'm going to jump over to regular Wrath. Now we are at the pre-patch now. So this is me in the pre-patch. I'm actually standing right in front of stockades, just a bunch of guys standing around. And I am going to enter this instance like I normally do. Now I have a macro set up right here to do the ghetto hearth. It's essentially going to try to invite player A and then drop the group immediately. You can see it down here if you read the text. You go ahead and click it. And it says you leave the group. That's the thing you're looking for. You leave the group. Sometimes it doesn't work, so you have to do it once or twice. Now I'm going to wait a few seconds. I'm going to get a little bubble up here. Now normally what this says is you're not in this instance group. You will be teleported to your hearthstone within a minute. Instead, it now says you will be teleported to the nearest graveyard in 50 seconds. So essentially, instead of sending you back to your hearth, which was kind of a cheese as it was anyway, it's now going to send you to the closest graveyard, which isn't what you're going for and isn't a convenience for you. So yeah, they essentially fixed it so you can't do that anymore. Now that's a big deal, and I think you can agree that it makes the Ring of the Kirin Tor the replacement for the Ghetto Hearth. If you guys are at all hesitant about getting it, I hope this at least made you consider how great this thing's going to be. If you haven't been on the beta, you don't understand, the instances are super fast. Anyway guys, that's all I want to talk about. I just want to give you a clear indication of what the Kirin Tor ring is and why you need to get it now. If you have any questions about the ring or anything related to this, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always guys, take care.